Hey guys, and welcome to this demo video of the UK freelance finance tracker for Notion. So this is a really simple and minimal finance tracker. There's no fluff, no complications. There's no, complicated databases. It's super easy to use. It's just a case of adding income and expenses. And if you want to, you can create invoices and create clients in here as well. But the main purpose of this template is to reduce the headache when you submit your tax return at the end of the year. So you can come in here, you can quickly see the number of revenue, the number of expenses, and fill out your tax return in a few minutes. So if you've just duplicated this template and you're wondering why it looks a little bit different, that's because I've got these custom charts on the dashboard here. This is from a third-party app called Magic Beans. These are free to use and they update automatically when you add income and expenses. So it's a very, very nice app to have. In the instructions page down here for the template, you will see a video that shows you exactly how to add these charts to your own Notion dashboard. So now that's out of the way, I'm going to go through a little bit of this template and how to use it. So on the left, we have the main sidebar for the template. You can see transactions. This is the master database for all of the transactions, incoming and outgoing. We have a client CRM. It's very basic, but you can just add in client information, including the name, the email, and that kind of thing in here. We then also have payment information. So here I've got some dummy information. Make sure to add your own bank details here. This will be included on any invoices that you send to a client. And then we have the income, expenses, and invoices pages. So in the income, you can see an overview of all the income, including a sum total so far for the year. And the important thing to note here is that these databases are filtered to the current tax year. So we have a filter set on this that shows the date April 6th to April 5th. That's the current tax year. So every year you can track and manage and compare all of the different incomes that you've got across the different tax years. The same is for expenses. We have a filtered view and you can quickly see a sum total of your expenses. So next I'm going to show you how the quick action buttons work. This is a really nice and easy way to add your income so that when you've secured a job and you've had a payment, you can just come into this dashboard and click new income. So here I'm going to go through this in example. So branding project. This category is service, and let's say the amount for that project was £5,000. And that's pretty much all we need to do here. Once you close this, we can see that these charts do update automatically after a little while, but to speed that up, if you press Command and R or Control R, you can refresh and you can see that the chart updates there with the new amount. Next, if we go into the income page, you can see the new income has been added. And in this case, let's go ahead and create an invoice for this project. So if you use this button here, you can also use the button on the main dashboard. I'm going to do it in here for now. So if you click create invoice, we can just do branding invoice and we can choose a client. So in this case, I'm going to choose Robocop and you can see automatically the client information is pulled into the invoice. And we can fill out this with some dummy info. Let's just put some information in here real quick so you can see how it looks. And you can see also the payment information is included at the bottom for the client to make the payment. Then all we need to do is click export and choose a PDF and you can send that off to your client and get the payment in. Once you've done that, you can also track your invoices in this page here. This is accessible from the main dashboard page. And we also have a status view. So you can see here that the invoices we've just created don't have a status. We can now move that into sent. And we can say that we can track this a long time. So when the payment has been made, we can move it into paid as well. This really is like a useful view for keeping track of unpaid invoices. So you know when to chase up clients for certain payments. Okay, so let's go ahead now and add an expense. So the same occurs. It's a very simple process. We click the new expense button. Let's just say here we've got, meeting, travel expense. And the category for this would be travel. Let's say the amount is £50. And the important thing to note here is that when you're adding an expense, you need to add a negative, a minus into the amount so that we can, reduce it from the total amount. And there's a little information here to remind you, remember to add the minus for expenses. If you have an expense receipt for that travel, you should also upload it here as a file. And then we can see, once again, if we come back to the dashboard, our expenses number will automatically update. So that's a quick demo of this template. You can see how simple and how powerful it is to use. It makes, tracking your finances and especially submitting your tax return at the end of the year much easier. It's worth noting the tax figure here doesn't take into account the personal allowance, so it is just a suggestive figure to keep in mind of how much money you should put aside for the tax year. But again, it doesn't take into account the personal income allowance. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email or a comment on the video below. You can get this template. There's a link in the description below, as well as a link to the Magic Beans app that helps you get these charts. But yeah, thanks for checking out the video, guys. I really hope that this template is useful for you. And yeah, good luck with your finances.